He brings a pair of drawstring pants with him to Dega and says he'll cinch him up about 2 inches tighter to cover what he'll lose in water weight today. The 42 cars that'll start the Die Hard 500 are rolling past for the first of the pace laps. Go upstairs to Ken Squire with the starting grid for today's race.
Row 1 features Bill Elliott on the pole for the first time in '93 and the Die Hard champ from a year ago, Ernie Irvan. Row 2, it's Brett Bodine and Kyle Petty. In row 3, Ricky Rudd, winner at Michigan on CBS, and Rick Max. Row 4 is Greg Sachs and the rookie sensation, Jeff Gordon. Row 5, it's Hut Strickland and Rick Wilson. In row 6, the 4-time winner of the Die Hard 500, Dale Earnhardt and Harry Gant. Row 7 is Michael Waltrip and Robbie Gordon. Row 8, Dale Jarrett, and the 2-time winner here, Darrell Waltrip. In row 9, it's Jimmy Means and Boy Allen Jr. Row 10 is Jimmy Hensley and Neil Bonnet. Row 11, Ted Musgrave and Sterling Marlin. For row 12, Morgan Shepherd and Jimmy Horton. Row 13, Mark Martin and Wally Gollenbach Jr. Row 14 is Jimmy Spencer and Ken Schrader. Row 15, the 86th champion of this event, Bobby Hillen and Jeff Purvis. Row 16 is Derek Cope and Rusty Wallace. In row 17, Jeff Bodine is there with Kenny Wallace. Row 18, Alabama's Stanley Smith and the '89 winner, Terry Labonte. Row 19, Bill Parsons and Dick Trickle. Richard Petty's nephew, Richie Petty, is on the inside of row 20, and there's Lake Speed. The provisional starters in row 21 are Bobby Labonte and the '76 Die Hard 500 champion, Dave Marcus.
The lights on. It's a Sears Die Hard, no charge.
Across America, people are witnessing a better approach to car care.
Don't worry, you have the Bridgestone Road Handler warranty package.
Thanks a lot.
It's an approach that gives you total satisfaction and total confidence. At Sears Tire and Auto Center, we brought in the best selection of name brand tires. And when it comes to price, we won't be undersold. We offer the protection of free emergency jump starts with the Die Hard battery, road hazard coverage, and a coast-to-coast warranty on all brake work.
Take it from your dad, Archie. Always bring your car here.
Sears Tire and Auto Center. We're driven to satisfy.
The secret to a strong finish is endurance. New High Endurance. Just watch how a day's worth of our deodorant outlasts the leading stick even after 24 hours. For the longest lasting, the best deodorant stick, demand proof. Get New High Endurance from Old Spice.
Starting this summer, get ready for a better nightlife.
You know, if you keep repeating the word lumpy out loud, it starts to sound really funny. Lumpy, 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 lumpy.
Coming August 30th.
Lumpy.
Same day,
Lumpy.
better time,
Lumpy.
new station.
Lumpy, lumpy, lumpy.
Back with you at Talladega Superspeedway. In-car cameras today, Dale Earnhardt, Jimmy Spencer, and Neil Bonnet back at the helm after 3 years absent, and we're going to be able to talk to Neil during the race. Neil, how do you hear us down there? Let's see if we can get Neil Bonnet again. Hello, Neil. CBS Control, do you read us?
Well, Neil's concentrating so hard there that he apparently is not paying any attention to anything on the outside. Neil, are you hearing us now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, how are things looking?
Looks good. Everything looks good. Boy, what a sight. All the people with the Davey Allison banners up. An opportunity for me to go back racing like this. It's kind of mixed emotions, but we're going to see what we can do here. It's going to be a lot of fun.
How do you feel about doing some commentary during the race today, Neil?
We'll see what we can do with it.
All right.
Hopefully we give the people another look at this side of racing.
All right.
I'm fixing to have a lot of fun. We'll see if we can take the people along for the ride.
So he's been saying all week, fixing to have some fun. He'll be starting back there in that 20th position. Field getting set for a start.
Ken, I'm sure the fans were wondering as we look inside of Dale Earnhardt's car, who will be carrying one of the cameras, saw that little white piece of tape on the top of the steering wheel on Neil's car. That is to identify that the steering wheel is straight up and down and his wheels are running straight. That's just an identification piece of tape.
Earnhardt in the 11th position. Jimmy Spencer also carrying an onboard camera as we settle down for a start. Very, very humid. A lot of overcast here. Field moving through the tri-oval. Remember, at Talladega, the finish line several hundred feet out of the tri-oval toward turn number 1.
green flag waves.
Bill Elliott, who this morning changed everything, motor, transmission, driveline, all the way through, trying to remedy what they thought was a problem on car number 11, the pole sitter, at 192 miles per hour. Up the outside.
See them handing out 4 or 5 abreast down the backstretch as they get their speed up. It takes them at least a full lap to get their full speed up with the restrictor plates they run on the cars here at Talladega.
Remember in May, they ran them 3 wide, some 20 laps in the course of that event.
Very nerve-wracking situation, especially for a dad watching. It was for everyone.
Coming to over 190 miles per hour, approaching the 18-degree tri-oval, and here they come back with Elliott and Urban locked up in front. In fact, the entire field has barely moved a position, except Bonnet's trying to go right up the middle there in car number 31. Back on the 31-degree banking. It's Bill Elliott on the bottom side. Best finish of the season 1 week ago. Pocono, Pennsylvania in third. Neil Bonnet's car. Talk about tight running at 190. Inches apart. Neil Bonnet's number 31 fading back about 3 positions. Hut Strickland getting around him. Rick Wilson up on the outside. Gant right behind him. Jeff Purvis right there. A wash of sound as they come down out of the tri-oval and thunder into turn number 1. Ernie Irvan going for the lead.
Ernie Irvan led that lap, but Bill Elliott led the first lap, Ken, and that was the first lap in 1993 that Bill Elliott has led in the Junior Johnson Ford.
Took him 18 races to lead a lap. He's there now fighting with a man who's won 3 out of the last 4 on this track. Ernie Irvan, who loves to go fast. Look at him flying different lines down the back straightaway. Coming by to complete lap number 3 of 188. They stack them 3 wide for second spot.
Brett Bodine pulls down on the inside, trying to draft on past Bill Elliott, and he does it. Now Ricky Rudd coming down to the inside for the burst of speed.
Give it to Urban. Kyle Petty goes to second. Rick Masters up to third, but here comes Rudd on the inside.
And Bill Elliott has been caught in the middle. He's going backwards now. He just simply can't get the draft off of anyone. He doesn't want to stay in that position very long.
At over 190 miles an hour, 42 racers locked together, less than 2 seconds apart. Elliott falling back to 14th. Morgan Shepherd on the move, coming up for the point. It's the Morgan McClure, Ernie Irvan, number 4.
There's Neil Bonnet in the black number 31. Now we're looking at his windshield as he drafts on Bobby Hillen, the car number 90 in front of him.
Bonnet back in 21st, started 20th. This is for turn 1. Jeff Gordon, number 24, the 21-year-old sensation from Pittsburgh, Indiana, goes into 4th spot.
Last lap, almost 194 miles an hour. Faster than they qualified. Not surprising, though, in the draft.
And lined up like they would be at a traffic light. Around to complete lap number 5. Irvan staying out in front.
He has an awfully fast car. Of course, he qualified on the outside pole, but yesterday in practice, he was absolutely one of the fastest.
Kyle Petty, who dominated this event on this track in May. They ran 500 miles. Kyle was phenomenal that day in the Felix Savetis, car number 42. Just eases up toward the wall. Right on the edge of out of control.
There's Ricky Rudd caught down on the inside by himself with no one to draft with, but he's hanging on pretty good there. That's the 5 car for Chevrolet.
Michael Waltrip is up to 5th. Rudd back to 6th. Waltrip is in 7th. Greg Sachs having a good run. He's in 8th. Hutch Strickland from Alabama in 9th. Earnhardt is 10th. Earnhardt won yesterday in one of the most dramatic Grand National races I've seen in years. Last year, Ernie Irvan won on Saturday, came back and won on Sunday. Can he do it here? Earnhardt in 10th. Working on Greg Sachs right in front of him. Headed for turn 1. Out the back. There you see Richard Petty's car. Rick Wilson out of Bartow, Florida at the controls. And look at those cars just weave, Ned.
Yeah, they can't. It's hard to hold them on a straight line because of the air off the other cars. It's just impossible to get stable air so that you can hold them in a straight line.
And the air off that outside concrete wall.
Yes.
You have to correct for that all the time, or it's good night. Again, the last lap. Lap 5 was over 194 miles an hour. Hillen is on the move. He's come from 29th. Bobby Hillen out of Midland, Texas, from 29th to 13th. Irvin stays first. Kyle Petty second. Rockbridge, Baths, Virginia. Rick Mast looking strong in third. Then there's the youngster. Had that great run at Daytona. Jeff Gordon stays fourth. He finished 5th out there in the Daytona 500 this year.
Wow.
Riding them wide to the trial.
Earnhardt was just way up in what they call the marbles. However, they're normally on this racetrack, there's not much loose stuff that gets up on top of the track, so they can run just right up next to the wall.
A report from Mike Joy.
Ken Polsitter, Bill Elliott's team this morning changed transmissions twice. The drive shaft and the rear end to cure a vibration problem. They have conquered it. Elliott started on the pole and said they've just been shuffled back in the pack due to the draft. Just pack racing. That's put him back in mid-pack.
Trying to get sorted out. Bill Elliott. He sat on the pole yesterday, sat on the pole today. Things are getting better. He had a 3rd place finish a week ago at Pocono, Pennsylvania. But it's not the old Junior Johnson or the old Elliott. Now there's the 28 car beginning to roll.
Bobby Gordon trying to pass on the inside. He is currently back in 30th position. He has dropped back a little bit trying to, well, we're showing 27th on the screen there. Just trying to get the feel of the draft.
Wise move on his part.
Yes.
This is not a track in this kind of a draft where you want to be mixing it up if you really don't know where to plant your feet.
He has a very fast race car, one of, if not the fastest car in the field, but drafting experience is so critical.
There's Dick Trickle up the outside.
And the rookie driver, Kenny Wallace, car number 40.
Back with the leaders. Ernie Irvan, Kyle Petty, Rick Mast, and Jeff Gordon. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give 5th to Michael Waldrop, who stays right in there. The Die Hard 500 from Talladega Superspeedway will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
What exactly is it that makes a Ford Escort GT so much fun? Well, let's start with its powerful 16-valve dual overhead cam engine. It's a blast. A scream. It really cuts. Then there's Escort GT's great looks. You know, the kind that'll turn more heads than a screwdriver. Speaking of turns, that's where Escort GT's nimble sport suspension comes in. We're talking road hugging. So ask yourself, isn't it time for a little fun? Yes! And have you driven a Ford lately?
From the top of the highest mountain, over land, over sea, in the desert, in the pits, when it absolutely has to start. The battery is Die Hard. Sears Die Hard, more power when and where you need it most.
The world's top cyclists, the world's greatest race, the world will be there. So should you. The Tour de France today on CBS.
This is CBS.
Why use Valvoline motor oil? It's the #1 choice of Indy 500 chief mechanics, Daytona 500 chief mechanics, NHRA mechanics, and Baja 1000 mechanics. For use in their race cars and in their own cars. Any more questions? People who know use Valvoline.
We recently introduced Hardee's Frisco Burger with the great sourdough taste of San Francisco. But New Yorkers said, hey, what about our famous rye? So here's Hardee's new New York Patty Melt. It's Hardee's thick quarter-pound burger on grilled New York rye. Crisp bacon and sauteed onions to add some, excitement. And in New York's melting pot fashion, Swiss, cheddar, and Monterey Jack cheese. Now San Francisco's happy. And New York's happy. So is Louisville, Spartanburg, Peoria, Spring.
Real food?
Hardee's. Cops, Monday at 7:30 on Channel 3.
CBS bringing you coverage of the Die Hard 500, 25th annual here at Talladega, Alabama. And that's how they're running through 11 laps. Top 10, but actually the top 25 are together, and right now they're switching positions going down through the first and second turn.
Yeah, the rookie driver Jeff Gordon just took the lead going into turn one, but he went very high. Now Ernie Irvin coming back on the inside of him. There's Dale Earnhardt already up to third. He's going for the lead.
3 wide into 3, and number 3 takes the lead.
Earnhardt has not led in this race so far. Of course, we're early in the race, but he wants to get 5 bonus points for leading a lap.
Dale Earnhardt's number 3. Sticking like a cat on Velcro as it rolls down to the bottom of that corner. Here he comes from the tri-oval. And look at this gang gathering behind him. There's Earnhardt just in front. Earnhardt has said you'll be leading this race and think you're sitting pretty. Then you'll look in your rear mirror and it looks like a team picture. That's what he's seeing right now.
Look in that rearview mirror and see a lot of hungry drivers back there, that's for sure. And look at this rookie Jeff Gordon. What a great year he has had so far, and just running right up front with the guys who have been there for years and years. Here's the other Gordon. That's Robbie Gordon.
Falling back to 33rd. Lake Speed just going around him there. Look at that 21 car. That's Morgan Shepherd. Wow, he's come from 23rd to 8th. Morgan Shepherd in the Wood Brothers car. The Wood Brothers have won this race just once, 1980. The driver, the great Neil Bonnet.
Morgan Shepherd is a master at drafting, and certainly the Wood Brothers know how to set a car up for drafting. Here's a group of cars down on the inside trying to make a move. Ernie Irvin got hung out down there by himself, so now he has some cars coming up behind him. Rick Mast in the car number 1, Darrell Waltrip, Dale Jarrett, Derek Cope, and Bobby Hillen all trying that inside groove now to try to make a move. There's one way to try to keep.
Neil Bonnet in 22nd position here. Closing up on Jimmy Spencer in the Bobby Allison car number 12. He's within striking distance, about a second back from the leaders. There you see Jeff Bodine streaking down the inside and going by both Bonnet and Spencer. This is in turn 1 and 2. And here comes Robbie Gordon picking up a spot or 2. Here's David Hans.
I'm with Larry McClure, owner of Ernie Irvin's car. He's just slipped back a little bit in the pack, but otherwise looking pretty good for that 3rd win.
Well, the Kodak Film Delco Remy Chevrolet's looking real good today. We're just riding along. I tell you, these guys are trying to test us to see how strong we are, and of course we're trying to test and see what they're going to do. So we're just going to ride and see what happens here. We'd like to say hello to Tony Glover today. He's not with us. His mother passed away this weekend, and we'd like to say hello to him.
Ernie had a bit of a ride yesterday afternoon. He's not hurting at all, is he, from that?
Yeah, he's okay. He's a little sore this morning, but other than that, he's okay.
Of course,
okay, thank you.
Tony Glover that he spoke of there is the crew chief on that car. And certainly our condolences go out to he and his family.
On the Ernie Irvin car, Ernie took the wildest ride of the weekend yesterday on the last lap of that 500K Grand National race. Show you some of that. Take a look at the last lap yesterday here at Talladega in the Grand National race. This was coming for the finish. We'll get to it in a moment here. So watch Earnhardt still in front. This is the last lap. There goes Ernie. He has to be the most religious person here because he sure had the right saint that time. Why he didn't roll about 20 times, we'll never know, huh, Ned?
Well, it was a miracle. The car just had to be in the right position. The air had to pick him up just right and set him down just right.
Earnhardt came home the winner yesterday. Norwalk, Connecticut native Randy LaJoie had an incredible second place, came from 8th to 2nd in the last moments of the race, and Terry Labonte had a fine finish for 3rd. That was in yesterday's 117 lap event, something like that. Well, now today we're settling down for 188 laps, of which 18 are now complete. 47 miles are down as they continue to run this very tight draft in this giant freight train into the tri-oval.
And there are 34 cars in that lead draft. There were only 42 started this race. A couple of cars not too far in front of the leaders are Sterling Marlin and Jimmy Hensley. They either lost the draft or have a problem with their cars. Anyway, they're just about to go a lap down.
The Ken Schrader car is on the move. It's from 25th up to 8th position. Riding with the leader, Earnhardt, back straight away. Young Gordon right with him, and here comes Waltrip on the inside.
Darrell has just picked off one car and then the other, trying to get up towards the front. He has tried the high, he has tried the low. Now he's on the low side of Ernie Irvan. Doesn't have anyone to draft with down there. That's a tough go when you try to go by yourself. But look, when those two cars get side by side, how much Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon are able to pull away. They look up in their rear view mirror and say, boy, we hope they race side by side for a while, because that lets us go. But here they're going to make it 3 abreast. Here comes Bill Elliott up on the outside. Ernie Irvan says, no, that's not the smart thing to do. He'll dip down behind Darrell Waltrip.
Waltrip peels off, moves through. He is now going to 30. He had a bad day yesterday in a Grand National, about 21st position on the end of it, looking to turn his season around. Still hasn't had that win this year. He says we're a lot better than we look. Well, he's looking very good right now in 3rd spot, running 15 car lengths back to Earnhardt at number 3 and 24. Gordon.
There are those two cars we mentioned. Sterling Marlin in the blue car and Jimmy Hensley in the white car have just gone a lap down.
Coming around to complete 21 laps. Earnhardt is back in front with 55 miles complete. Stay with us.
I could have had my brakes done at the corner shop or a muffler place with some super-duper deal. But tonight, I felt awfully good about choosing Sears. Sears has technicians that are trained, experienced brake specialists. They finished the job when they promised. They road-tested my brake system and really gave me peace of mind, which is something I appreciate on nights like tonight.
Sears Tire and Auto Center. We're driven to satisfy.
I got a shell and 2 starfishes.
It's called Me Day.
My mom says he looks like my daddy's boss.
It's the day when everyone in Mrs. Meyer's 1st grade brings something from home
My daddy cut it for me.
and shares it with the rest of the class.
Jack, you want to come on up?
On this Tuesday morning, Jack Moore brought something different.
This is my dad. His name is Jack, like me. Last Saturday, we built a doghouse. Maybe someday I'll get a dog. Every Saturday morning, we let Mom sleep and we go to McDonald's together. That's where we tell each other things we'd never tell anybody else.
At McDonald's, we never planned on being part of Jack Moore's Me Day, but we're glad we were.
This is my dad. He's my best friend.
When your truck's as tough as a Ford F-Series, you can go just about anywhere. And now with F-Series Preferred Care, we're going with you. Because even if you run out of gas or get a flat in the middle of nowhere, you can call toll-free and get 24-hour roadside assistance. Free. No other full-size pickup offers that. Plus, there's an overnight loaner if you need it. Because at Ford, when we say we'll go out of our way to keep you satisfied, we really mean it.
From the day he rode into town, things would never be the same. Coming soon to CBS, Lead Blessing.
Back with you once again at Talladega after 22 of 188 laps, and they're skirmishing for the lead right now. The man putting the pressure on, as you look at the top 10, is the two-time winner, Waltrip, who's going for the lead, coming to the stripe. He and Earnhardt side by side. It's Waltrip on the bottom in the 17, the two-time winner. And here at Talladega, the Dega Dominator, the only man to win it 4 times. Earnhardt high on the outside, going back into the leadoff, turn 2. And with him comes Jeff Gordon. Let's just drop in on Neil Bonnet.
Up against the wall here not too many laps ago and dropped back a little bit, but he's hanging right in there.
23rd position's where he's at with a handful. His team, which is the Dale Earnhardt team for Grand National Racing, down there, they had tires ready because he did get pinched up in the wall. Here you see him with Jimmy Spencer down below.
Boy, and we saw Darrell Waltrip up there a moment ago. Don't see him there now. We'll pan back here and see if we can catch him. He is down on the inside. You still don't see him. Darrell Waltrip has dropped far back. There he is, down on the inside. See how far back he has dropped after fighting for the lead there just a moment ago, but had nobody down there with him. And, boy, if you don't have a drafting partner, you're in trouble. Now Kyle Petty pulls up behind him.
And now 10th. Getting a little help from Kyle down at the bottom. The high side is the fast side of town here at Talladega this afternoon. As Earnhardt, Gordon, Elliott, Irvin run 1, 2, 3, 4. On Strickland comes to 5th. Morgan Shepherd in 6th. Wally Dallenbach having a great ride in the Jack Roush car, number 16, up to 7. Dale Jarrett's in 8. Schrader has come from 25th up to 9th. And then back there in 10th is Brett Bodine. Top 4. This will be 27 laps when they come to the stripe. 71 miles down. No cautions today. A Talladega traffic jam at 190 miles an hour through the 18-degree banking. The 33-degree banking to turn 1. Just put it on the floor. Madden. See how long you can stay brave.
That's what it takes here. And here's Morgan Shepherd. You saw him taking a peek up on the high side as we look out the rear window of Dale Earnhardt's car. Jeff Gordon content just to hang right on to Earnhardt there. Here comes Hud Strickland down on the inside by himself, trying to make a move. He's going to get past here on this front straightaway.
Fades back in. Gave it a shot. Now eases back in line. 6. Dallenbach to 7. Waltrip stays on the bottom.
Yeah, he likes to run low, but he just needs some help down there. He really goes through turns 1 and 2 down on the inside, but when he gets headed down the backstretch, his momentum is taken away. Those that are running the high groove have more momentum coming off the turn, so they shoot down that straightaway, and it's hard to stay up with them.
Here he is closing in on Brett Bodine. Not for long.
Now here comes Darrell's brother, the yellow car up there, Michael Waltrip. Maybe he'll have to pull out and help him up there. I bet he won't. I bet he'll just drive by him on the outside. Say, brother, you got yourself in that position. Now he's going to let Darrell in. No, he's not. He's going to come right up on the outside of him. Say, brother, you got yourself in that position. You're going to have to hang with him. Well, I tell you, it's tough when your brother won't help you. You can't expect anybody else to help.
Fading back. Waltrip, who gave it a run right for the lead in this lead draft. What have you got up there now? About 25 cars net in that lead pack?
There's still, yes, about 30 in the lead pack. That are certainly, they have not lost the draft yet. There's a little bit of space after about 15 cars.
With the leaders. and Earnhardt.
So Morgan Shepherd looking at that high side. He continues to look up there. All he needs is just the width of that Ford Thunderbird, and he'll stick it up there.
Car back in fifth spot, just behind the number 4. That's Morgan Shepherd, and he is having another good run as we close in on these leaders. There you see Morgan in the 21. He hasn't led a diehard 500 since back in '89. He drove for Raybach. He looks like he wants to get up there and mix it up, and he's having a good time in the points this year with the Wood brothers, number 21. Morgan Shepherd qualified 23rd for today's race, currently 4th in the Winston Cup points. Lies 5th in the field, Strickland in 6th. You see Dolan back in 7th. Everyone following the Dega Dominator, Dale Earnhardt.
The PGA Championship, coming soon on CBS.
Every lap tests the mettle of a NASCAR crew chief, which is why the winning crew chiefs of Bill Elliott, Darrell Waltrip, Sterling Marlin, and Jeff Bodine rely on Craftsman hand tools. When seconds count, they haven't got time for second best. 1,600 Craftsman hand tools. Made in America, guaranteed forever. The official tools of NASCAR. Only at Sears.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's so plain to see. If it's gonna get done, it's up to you and me. Come on and head for the mountains of Busch. Come on and head for the mountains of Busch. Here.
You're unbelievable. You're so unbelievable. You're unbelievable. You're unbelievable.
Why use Valvoline motor oil? It's the #1 choice of Indy 500 chief mechanics. Daytona 500 chief mechanics. NHRA mechanics. And Baja 1000 mechanics. For use in their race cars and in their own cars. Any more questions? People who know use Valvoline.
Back with you live at Talladega, Alabama on the 2.6-mile high banks here. There you see Earnhardt leading after 31 laps, 82 miles complete. Narrow your caution flag to date. Gordon second, Elliott, Irvin, Shepherd, Hutch Strickland, Wally Dolan back, Dale Jarrett, Ken Schrader, Brett Bodine, all in a bundle up there. And 15 others. Around this immense racing facility. Average speed staying right about 190 miles an hour. Had a very easy start. Neil Bonnet, he's up to 2030 and fallen back to 26. He and Robbie Gordon cutting their way through the field. Robbie Gordon currently in 18th. Look at these leaders.
We'll have pit stops coming up in the next 5 or so laps again.
Let's go to Mike Joy and check on those pit stops.
Ken, the magic number is 47. If this race goes green the entire 188 laps, you would need to stop every 47 laps to make this just a 3 pit stop race. That's 4 tanks of fuel. We've not had a caution so far, so here in the Earnhardt pit, that's the number they need to get to. Richard Childress says we need 47. We can go 48, maybe 49. So that's the number.
Well, that's a lot more than they normally go when they don't run restrictor plates. About 100 miles is all they can go when they don't have restrictor plates, as we see Ernie Irvin come down on the inside. But yes, they do get much better fuel mileage with the restrictor plates. So 47 laps, good information. So that's still about 12 laps away.
Ernie Irvin, defending diehard champion. Mixing it up again, coming back in.
And I think we're seeing a lot of cars, they're content now to, most of them, at least Ernie Irvin, he continues to drop down there, but most of them are content to run in single file in this first group of cars. And I think they might, maybe some of them need some chassis adjustments. Their tires are getting old, maybe the car's getting a little bit loose, and so they're just content to ride there until they make the pit stop and make an adjustment. Now, these drivers back here, that's not the case. Where Neil Bonnet is, they're racing side by side, passing each other, and getting on with it.
Neil Bonnet fighting back in 24th, falling back again. Here goes Bobby Hillin and Labonte, both squeezing past him. Trying to break it back up to the 20th position from whence he started. Bobby Hillin giving him a real run here. That's Hillin just in front of him. Hillin, in a dramatic moment at Pocono, did a 360 right in front of Waldron. Why he didn't get collected was a miracle. Lake Speed having a good run. Back there about 24th. He's 23rd, the 31 car.
Now, folks, even though he is in 23rd position, he is only about the length of a good par 5 golf hole behind the leader. See there how close all of them are?
He better get the wood out right now if he wants to catch up with Earnhardt and Gordon. Jeff Gordon, relentless in his efforts to win his first Winston Cup race at age 21. Here you see Kyle Petty and Mark Martin. They've been storming back through the field. Kyle Petty being shown at the present time in 17th position. Martin right with it. And I think that's been a major change. I think that Kyle Petty is torn up through the field. Showing us something different, and I believe Kyle is much closer to the front. We can check
well,
it
no,
he
went backwards pretty good. He was up there in second place for a while, but he has dropped back quite a bit in the field and has settled in back there.
Well, he's in 16th. Yeah, they had him in 24th.
Okay. Drafting on Michael Waltrip right now. We see this trio up front there. That's Bill Elliott in third, Jeff Gordon in second, and Dale Earnhardt in first. There they are, lapping the car number 7 and number 8 again. Both of those drivers having problems early here today, just drafting on the jumpers here and running on 7 cylinders. Here's Morgan Shepherd. He tried him high several times. He's going to try Bill Elliott on the low side, hoping Ernie Irvin would come with him. Ernie didn't. Ernie sees this as an opportunity to get back by Morgan. Let's see if he's going to do it.
Morgan had better tuck in or he's going to drop a couple.
Yeah, he tucked back in there. Said that's not going to work now.
Now he's found a dancing partner. Ernie Irvin comes along. Sashay up through here, will you? Nope. Now there's the 28 car. That's Robbie Gordon. He is being shown in the 19th position right now.
Now he's sort of sitting there running by himself, Ken. He's about 10 car lengths behind the next place car, which would be Mark Martin, and just sitting there. He has one car about 3 or 4 car lengths behind him, Rick Wilson, but he's just running along there by himself. Good position, really. That's a good experience for him. We see Wilson close in as they go into the turn, picking up the draft.
Give you an idea just how close Mark Martin is to him, or he to Mark Martin. He has said one of the things he really wants to do is bring this car home. He realizes the pressure that's on him here today. So he faded it back out of that heavy draft. Ed was talking earlier in our opening today, if you're just joining us, about Robbie Gordon taking over the Davey Allison ride. And he went out for a final practice period yesterday and did some pretty serious sparring out there. Kyle Petty and some others really rubbed him around a little.
Well, they did. They were giving him some lessons in drafting, not necessarily intentionally, but certainly gave him something to think about overnight. They were passing him on the high side and the low side, and he'd go back in a pack, and they'd all pass him, and then he'd work his way back up, and here they'd go at him again, just like they're doing here right now.
Bobby Labonte on the outside at 22. Mike Joy is ready to check into the Neil Bonnet pits.
Well, Bobby Hutchins is a pretty fine modified driver. He's Richard Childress' computer engineer, and today he's Neil Bonnet's crew chief. How's he doing?
Doing a great job right now. Neil's just trying to get a feel for the car and the traffic, and hopefully we'll be in here at the end.
It looks like Neil can ride in the draft with whatever pace they want to run, but can he get out and pass?
Yeah, he's pretty good. Right now we're a little tight up off the corner. We're going to make a little adjustment on the stop here, and hopefully we can pick up a few spots.
Bobby said earlier he'd love to drive one of these things, but I don't think today would be the day.
Pretty warm out there, and I just hope Neil pulls through on this thing for us.
Thanks, Bobby.
Thank you. Snaking their way around this 2.6-mile track.
And Darrell Waltrip has found him some dancing partners down on the inside and has got that low groove and coming back towards the front. Remember a while back he dropped way back in the back? He's back up near the front now, drafting on Ernie Irvin.
Here he comes with Irvin going for third. Bill Elliott there on the outside. Here you see Bobby Labonte. He is now up to 22nd position. Remember, he started as a provisional from 41st. Bobby Labonte at number 22. The rookie right in there now closing. Looks like he's ready to close up on Dale Jarrett for the moment. Rather on Kyle Petty. Battles continue with 42 of 188 laps at Talladega Superspeedway in Alabama.
All across America, people are discovering a better place to buy tires. All the top name brands at one store, only at Sears. And when it comes to price, we won't be undersold. Now through July 28th, get Goodyear's new weather handler with a 60,000-mile warranty as low as $24.99. If you're looking for all-weather performance, you need the Goodyear weather handler. But hurry, sale ends July 28th. Sears Tire and Auto Center. We're driven to satisfy.
Over the years, I've been pretty tough on cars, but hey, man, I wasn't paid to be gentle. Nowadays, I got a little bit different attitude. I own these babies. You know, the better we take care of our equipment, the longer it lasts. And we always use STP products and have for the last 25 or 30 years. Maintenance, preventive maintenance is what it's all about. The problem is, some crazy kid always wants to drive them.
Your teeth aren't flat, are they? Of course not. If they were, a flat brush would be ideal. But since your teeth are shaped like this, we designed our brush like this. Introducing Crest Complete. Your dentist uses special instruments that get between teeth. Crest Complete gets between too, up to 37% farther than the leading flat bristle brush. So to help maintain a dentist clean at home, get new Crest Complete. Only Crest could make a brush this complete.
If it were just to win more trophies, we wouldn't be here. But there's a side to Ford racing you won't find in the sports page. It's learning how to make your car safer by racing 200 miles an hour in heavy traffic. And learning how a granite roller coaster can make your truck even tougher. Because when it comes to developing technology for your Ford, there shouldn't be any limits. That's why we race. Of course, we're not about to give back all our trophies. Have you driven a Ford lately?
This Die Hard 500 race summary is sponsored by Ford. Have you driven a Ford lately?
After 119 miles have been completed, only 4 leaders thus far in this intense competition. 3 lead changes, averaging 191 miles an hour. Caution-free, no cars have officially retired from the event. Right now, we do have a new leader. Today's overhead shots are courtesy of the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes, based in Pompano Beach, Florida. At the controls, Captain Dick Esch from Sunrise, Florida. Looking down on that new leader, Ernie Irvin. Came up with Waltrip. Now Waltrip has fallen back into 4th. You see Earnhardt in 2nd, Jeff Gordon in that 3rd spot. They should be about a lap away. Robbie Gordon in that 28 car. Remember, he faded to 26 on the start. Well, he's back. He is now in 8th position. Bobby Gordon, right there in car number 28, giving that Robert Yates machine a whale of a ride. He waited out those initial laps, Ned. Now he's storming.
Yes, he is. He learned a lot. Here's Ken Schrader just having made a pit stop. He was running up there in the top 10. And Brent Bodine is in the pits as well. So we'll see lots of cars coming in here very shortly.
Lap 46 is when this is happening. Bobby Hillin has just pitted.
And Ricky Petty made a pit stop a couple of laps ago. That's the nephew of Richard Petty and son of Maurice. And he got called back in for a stop-and-go penalty for going too fast on pit road. The pit road speed today is 65. Dale Jarrett is in the pits. So is Terry Labonte and several others making pit stops here now on this lap 47.
Looks like they're getting ready to pit up in front.
Yeah, I think we'll see the leaders coming. You can see those signals that they're waving them off. We're about to come in. That's Dale Earnhardt giving a signal. He's going to come in this time around. He wants to run as fast as he can, as long as he can. But he wants them to be aware behind that he's got to slow down, and he's coming into the pits.
And so is Urban. We'll see.
Yeah, there are a lot of the leaders will be coming in this time. There they come down pit road right now. There's Ernie Irvan, Dale Earnhardt, Morgan Shepherd.
Pit road speed, 65 miles per hour today. Leaders are all in. Waltrip is there, the whole gang. Wholesale change, first stop under green. Let's go to David Hobbs.
Well, Larry McReynolds and his crew doing the first pit stop ever on a non-Davy Allison car here this afternoon. Robbie Gordon, having driven fantastically well this afternoon, pulling up, letting himself go back in the draft, learning how to do it on the super speedway of all times, and pulls himself up to about 8th spot before he stopped. Crew did a tremendous job.
Well, it looks like they only changed the right side tires on Earnhardt. Maybe that's all any of them are doing. Ernie Irvan and Ricky Rudd both beat Earnhardt out. Darrell Waltrip is right there. The two Gordons racing side by side down into turn 1. They're not related.
Elliott with the lead. And now you see Elliott on pit road, just coming in for his stop with the Junior Johnson car. Looking for that first win of 93.
Problem with his car. The crew asked NASCAR to post his number on the board for him to come in. They have an electronic sign at the start and finish line that they can put a car number up there. And so Bill ran a little bit longer than the others. Let's go to the pits. Mike Joy.
Jimmy Hensley with an extended stay on pit road. They've been moving or changing a spark plug wire on the Kulwicki Racing Thunderbird. I got his fuel and spent a long time here with the hood up. I believe he's already gone at least one lap down, but they have refired his car. He's going back on the racetrack.
When all of these pit stops are shuffled out, Ernie Irvan is going to be the lead. He and Ricky Rudd made the two best pit stops, and they're out there running by themselves. Right there they are. And they are going to be the leaders. In fact, they indeed now are being posted as the leaders. Earnhardt is 3rd. Jeff Gordon is 4th. Robbie Gordon is 5th. Darrell Waltrip is 6th. Dale Earnhardt is 7th. Dale Jarrett, I beg your pardon. And in 8th place is Mark Martin. Red Sachs came out in 9th place.
Rod, the winner at Michigan. Some very savvy work up there, and got great fuel range on that car number 5.
And here we're looking at the windshield of Dale Earnhardt, and you see how far he has to go to catch the car number 4 of Ernie Irvan and the car number 5 of Ricky Rudd, and they're reading them in a hurry. He has Jeff Gordon drafting on his rear bumper, and they are coming towards the front in a hurry.
This is happening at lap number 52 of 188. 138 miles have been completed. Window net seems to be loose on Darrell Waltrip's car. There'll be a consultation flag out for Waltrip. Check that story in a moment. The Die Hard 500 from Talladega Superspeedway will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
Rust. What it can do to the outside of your car, weak, neglected antifreeze can do to the inside. You need the tough anti-corrosion formula of Prestone. Use fresh Prestone every year to give your radiator and cooling system heavy-duty rust and corrosion protection. No matter what happens to the outside, Prestone protects the inside. Prestone stops the rust that stops your car.
Prestone is now on sale for only $3.99 per gallon at participating Sears Tire and Auto Centers.
Preview the hottest picks in entertainment, and you can win some cool prizes. Hot Picks, only at Blockbuster Video. It's a free rental from CBS and Blockbuster Video.
This is CBS. Why use Valvoline motor oil? It's the #1 choice of Indy 500 chief mechanics. Daytona 500 chief mechanics, NHRA mechanics, and Baja 1000 mechanics for use in their race cars and in their own cars. Any more questions? People who know use Valvoline.
We recently introduced Hardee's Frisco Burger with the great sourdough taste of San Francisco. But New Yorkers said, hey, what about our famous rye? So here's Hardee's new New York Patty Melt. It's Hardee's thick quarter-pound burger on grilled New York rye. Crisp bacon and sauteed onions to add some, excitement. And in New York's melting pot fashion, Swiss, cheddar, and Monterey Jack cheese. Now San Francisco's happy. And New York's happy. So is Louisville, Spartanburg, Peoria, Springfield.
Hardee's. To Russia with Love, beginning Monday at 5.
With you at Talladega, Alabama, 54 laps down. Front pack of cars. Ernie Irvan, Ricky Rudd, Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon. Then you fade back about 2 seconds, and you find the second pack of cars. Robbie Gordon, for the moment, is leading that group with Mark Martin, Greg Saxon, Dale Jarrett. They continue to shuffle them around out there. Now that number 8 car, Sterling Marlin.
Oh, it's the 28 cars in trouble.
Robbie Gordon getting in the wall hard. Caution out for the first time today. It is directly beneath us. It is about 150 feet to the right of the flag stand. It is right in the same area that Bobby Allison had that horrifying crash here years ago. Got up into that fence, the fence held and all, and Robbie Gordon in the Robert Yates number 28. We'll have to take a look at that one again as he was leading that second group.
Okay, and they were coming up on some lap cars. He got down on the inside, maybe got his left wheels down on the flat a little bit too much there, and the air affected him again, and the back end just went around on him. He slides backward there. You see Dale Jarrett going on the outside of him. Then he slams into the wall with the right front of the car, stays up against that outside wall, and comes to rest there.
Lap cars of Stanley Smith and Sterling Marlin were the ones he was trying to go beneath. Of course, he's been at Daytona once, and we saw him at Richmond. That was the level of his experience. I think he had a couple of ARCA races, but it's all come to naught here today. He gave it a good run. He'd fallen all the way back, made a run back up through the field, and was leading the second pack as we came back out of commercial. But 24-year-old Robbie Gordon, who qualified 14th for today, looks like he's out of it.
Jenny thought it was so funny watching her dad do homework.
Sears brake specialists want you to have the best service, so Ray Lyles studied hard and earned his Automotive Service Excellence certification.
It was like being back in school.
If you want a tested, proven professional, look for this badge. And no one has more ASE certifications than Sears. That means no one can give you more peace of mind. Sears Tire and Auto Center. We're driven to satisfy.
Remember those old dirt tracks, AJ? The dirt would just eat up the engines.
Two champions sharing a winning formula. Haviland Formula 3.
My favorite win was going to be in '69. I had to give it to you. You shouldn't have even made a half a lap.
Complete professionals who rely on the same complete protection you can buy right off the shelf. Haviland Formula 3 motor oil from Texaco.
Heck, I still feel if I can't win, I don't want nobody to win. I'll try to remember that, AJ. Do that.
No matter what you drive, with proper maintenance, you'll get quicker acceleration, improved fuel economy, better passing ability, and less downtime. 4 out of 5 cars need maintenance. Is yours one of them?
Introducing Ford Taurus SHO and the Craving.
If you've had a craving for a truly sophisticated performance sedan, may we suggest our 24-valve, 220 horsepower Taurus SHO, now available with automatic transmission. Think of it as caviar for the power-hungry.
CBS Sports presents the Die Hard 500, sponsored by Die Hard, the official battery of NASCAR, AT&T, the right choice, and by Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car.
At Talladega, Alabama, with Neil Bonnet in the number 31. The entire field has taken this opportunity to come back on pit road, make adjustments, take on some added rubber. And here you are riding with Neil, his first time back in 3 years. Looking good out there at the present time.
How's it going, Neil? I tell you what, Ken, this thing has been a ball. What a traffic jam. I tell you, the guys, there's so many cars running the same speed. You got to really be careful working it outside and inside lane. You know, it's just, I'm probably a little rusty on it, but I've been trying to pick it up here.
How are you doing with the heat? How are you doing with the heat, Neil?
Feel great. I tell you what, I got this old cool suit sitting over here. I've been turning it off and on. I'm sure I ain't as comfortable in Ned up there with that air-conditioned booth, but boy, am I having some fun out here. It's not as bad as I really anticipated it. I can raise this shield, and the air coming from the outside is actually hotter than the stuff I just got in the car. So I'm leaving the shield down. I got the cool suit working. Everything's going good right now.
Looked to us like the only problem you had was trying to find your pit coming down pit road there.
Yeah, let me tell you, we kind of made a different sign, and I'm just not that familiar with it. And you got to remember, it's a long time since I turned down there, and there's 40 boards up, and, you know, 2,000 people want you to come in, and I'm just a little confused on where they are. Probably hurting us some coming down pit road, but I just want to be careful. We don't cause any problems.
Yeah, I saw you right there in front of your old buddy Earnhardt.
Yeah, I just about blocked him in, and I think he ain't gonna like that. We talked about that before the race. I was concerned about blocking him in coming down. We were going to try to work back and forth, but it just worked out where I kind of pinned him. But looks like that thing of his is good enough to get to the front. I'm just going to sit here. We talked about it. I've been thinking about diving in the bottom, but I need to get some experience on this outside, working this traffic. We'll run this thing all day long. There's a lot of race car left right here. At the end of the day, we'll see how much we got.
Well, if you're going to chop off your boss, probably pit road's the best place to do it, Neil.
All righty, man.
Here's Mike Joy.
These are the tires that came off of Bill Elliott's car, Ken. Under green, they changed right side tires, and you can see these are barely worn. Those are the wear indicators. Under caution, they just changed the left side tires, and again, very good tire wear. The only reason they changed tires at all is temperature. These tires were measured at 200 degrees across the tread. Cooler tires put on the car will run faster than warmed up ones like these, and you can change 2 tires in less time than it takes to fuel the car. But the tire wear and temperatures are excellent. They did take a roundup bite out of the left rear of Elliott's car when he made this most recent stop, though, to try to improve the handling just a bit.
Bill Elliott, the man who sat on the pole for today's race, looking for that first win of the season. Now the 28 car, and that car, after it had slapped the wall, actually fired, and Robbie Gordon drove it down to the inside, drove it about another 150 feet, and they're looking at it now. It looks like they may try to get this car back in the race. Robbie Gordon having a big problem up here in the tri-oval area of the track as he tried to move beneath the cars of Sterling Marlin and Stan Smith that were a lap down, and it looked like a rookie error.
Yeah, he made a move to the inside, which is a natural move, but I think he got his wheels down on the left side where it was a little bit flat down there, and then you combine that with the air off of the other cars, taking off of the rear spoiler of his car, and it just lifted the back end around, and around he went. Yeah, if he had been running here for a year or two, he would have known not to make that kind of a move.
2 cars have elected not to pit. They are Ernie Irvan, the leader, and Ricky Rudd in second. The third place car, as we get set to ramble once again, would be Dale Jarrett, and we're at least a lap away. The light is still on the pace car. Taking a look at Robbie Gordon's car as they continue to work on it there. Here's the top 5.
No, that's not right. Dale Jarrett is third, and in 4th place is Greg Saxon. 5th place is Terry Labonte after they came out of the pits.
That was after 56 laps as they were on the field. And right now we're showing 59 laps complete. 59 are now in the books here this afternoon. And that gets us down to 156 miles complete. Ernie Irvan stays in front, Rudd in second, Jarrett third, Sachs fourth, Terry Labonte fifth, Mark Martin sixth, Gordon is seventh, Rick Wilson will be eighth, Earnhardt back in ninth as we get set on that restart, which is probably, as we say, a lap away. You think they're going to try to bring that Robbie Gordon car back?
Well, I don't know. They'll look at it. The reason they would do it would be, one, to give him more experience, but also to gain car owners points. Every position they could gain would mean that many more points, and that could be important at the end of the year.
Fearless driver, this Robbie Gordon, eighth in the IndyCar points at the present time. And that car was so strong off turn 2 yesterday in that last practice period, and it was looking good today. He brought it all the way back through the field.
Was running fifth when he had his misfortune.
Said, I've got a lot to learn. Hopefully we won't make a mistake in this race. But right here in the trioval, awfully easy to do. It looked like he had plenty of room to make the move.
Yep, but getting down on that inside and with that air off those other cars, it just took it away from him. They'll get the signal now. One more lap to go until we'll go back to green.
Now Ernie Irvan has won 3 of the last 4 super speedway races here and is the luckiest driver here. As you saw those pictures we showed you a little earlier, if you're just joining us, yesterday Earnhardt won the preliminary event, the Grand National race, and in the drive in that last lap, Ernie Irvan going down the back straightaway had the back end 8 feet off the ground, floating backwards, and the car just settled down, and around he came to finish the race up. He was making a strong bid to win yesterday and do what he did a year ago when he won on Saturday, then came back and won on Sunday. Earnhardt seems to have that advantage, if it is an advantage, coming into today's race. And there's Rudd right with him, and Rudd seems to be rejuvenated now.
Yeah, he has a strong car. He was strong yesterday in practice. He got shuffled back a little bit earlier in the draft, but he's right there now. 34 cars in the lead lap. Let's go to the pits and Mike Joy.
Gary Dehart is Ricky Rudd's team manager. They won at Michigan on CBS, a combination of track position and gas mileage, and you did not stop on this caution.
I tell you, Mike, everybody's got to make 2 more stops just regardless, and we're going to go for track position at this time, and I guess Ernie did too, so we'll just see how it unfolds. We're okay on tires. Tires are not really a major problem here, so fuel is, but like I say, everybody's got to go at least 2 more stops, so we're okay.
Well, now this means you'll have to stop about 5-8 laps before the rest of the cars that came in on this caution, so you've got to be hoping for another caution between now and then.
Yeah, that's true, but we might can go 5 or 8 more.
Well, they did at Michigan, and they ended up in victory lane. We'll see how it plays out.
You notice how he said we might could?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good indication that they can.
Can or cannot.
That they can go another 5 or 8 laps. But Mike was right, Mike Joy, when he pointed out that they will have to stop more than likely some 5 to 8 laps before the others, and if a caution comes out in between there, then that could hurt them.
Average speed now 170.848. That was through lap 60, and that's down from the old record, from the record, Cale Yarborough in 1981 at 192.676.
Not many cars lining up down on the inside because most of the cars are still on the lead lap. About a half a dozen cars down on the inside. The cars that are in the lead lap start up on the outside, and the green flag waves, and we're off racing again.
As they come down to complete lap 61, Ernie Irvan brings the field across. Rudd second, Jarrett right there with him.
Rudd got off to a little bit of a slow start. Ernie jumped him about 6 or 7 car lengths there on the start of the race. But now Rudd beginning to close back in as he picks up the draft. You can see just how much that helps. He might even be able to blow by him down the back stretch.
Everybody away and racing once again. CBS live coverage of the Die Hard 500 from the Talladega Superspeedway today. Ernie Irvan in front. Here's David Hobbs with a report.
Right in front of us, Spotter was doing an excellent.
Hi, I'm with Robert Yates, the car owner. Robert, what exactly happened with Robbie Gordon there?
Well, everything was looking real good. You know, he's got plenty of experience. He worked his way from the back of the field back to the front. The spotter was giving him really good directions. He told him to stay with Mark, and he said, if you're going to pass this slow car, you're going to have to do it on the low side. So they went low. They came up where the apron gets very flattened out. Since it was leading, they got him down on the flat, and when he tried to make that transition back up on the racetrack, it turned it around, and probably not anybody could drive into that situation. Just on the racetrack, is, I guess we've learned that spot now.
I see you and Larry McReynolds looking under the rear wheel arch. What's happened? Has it broken the axle?
Well, it's bent the rear end housing, pulled the shocks loose, trailing, track bar loose. It's really from the rear back is damaged pretty severely. They're going to go ahead and work on some things. That if they can get the alignment good on it, where we can go back and run good, we'll go back out. If we can't, our team will be going home. And thanks to all the fans here in Alabama and all the race fans around the country and the world for supporting us. This has been an awful tough trip. The way we were running shows what kind of race team we have, and certainly for Robbie, did a super job of coming in and jumping in something totally unknown, at least for the last couple of years, and for our race team to hang in there and give him a good car. We had a good shot at running off good, and the high banks, and he was down there on the low banks, and when he came up, shoot, it just happened right in front of us. We did all the things we could do. It just, you can't stay there. When you start going through that part of it, you got to move back up.
Well, we want to thank you very much for a tough end to a tough week, and I guess you guys are going to get out on the track again. Dan?
Robert Yates made the toughest speech he's ever made in racing about 12 days ago when he said, whenever we go to a track, we always go with the expectation of winning. And this time, we don't feel we can win. And that was the one time that car number 28 has not appeared since Yates Racing came together. Tough day for him, but they're back here this week, and they had a good accounting by Robbie Gordon until he made that error up here in the Tri-Oval area. We'll wear that one for a long time.
Yes, he will, but I'm sure he really learned from it. And the field beginning to tighten up now. 6 cars had pulled away, but now they have tightened up with Jeff Gordon leading Rick Wilson and Dale Earnhardt and Kyle Petty. They've caught up to the lead pack. Ernie Irvin still the leader.
65 laps complete. So Irvin stays first. Rudd is in second. Dale Jarrett looking him over. Gosh, Ned, you may get another workout here at the finish the way the kid's running right now. We'll see.
Have you ever borrowed a book from thousands of miles away? Across the country?
Gesture ahead. Take next exit.
Without stopping for directions?
Route 101.
Or sent someone a fax? From the beach? You will. And the company that'll bring it to you, AT&T.
From the days when they ripped through the sands of Daytona to tracks like Talladega and Darlington, racing fans have had a love affair with the drivers. To commemorate these heroes, Country Time presents our new Collector Series, featuring Kowicki, Gant, Shepard, Hamilton, Jarrett, and Darrell Waltrip. What better way to salute the men who risk it all on the speedway and the fans who make it all worthwhile.
Starting your engine is a terrible thing to do, but when you do start your car, there isn't an engine treatment in the world that can protect it like Slick 50 engine formula. Nothing else has Slick 50's unique chemistry. That's why Slick 50 protects so well at startup and keeps on protecting for up to 50,000 miles. What it takes is Slick 50. And until September 6th, buy a quart of Slick 50 and any oil filter at a participating Sears Tire and Auto Center and get up to $3 back by mail.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Red Ball Fire!
You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. But your love drives a man insane. You broke my will, what a thrill. Driven at the rays of red balls of fire.
Bosch Platinum, the ultimate spark plug.
They're shuffling the deck again here at Talladega, Alabama. And for the moment, Dale Jarrett has just taken over. It's Dale in front. Jeff Gordon has taken second. Earnhardt falling to third. And back to fourth goes Ernie Irvin. Irvin had led just a lap ago. In fifth spot is Greg Sachs. Here comes 21-year-old Jeff Gordon on the inside of the Daytona 500 champion.
Watch Earnhardt see if he tries to make it 3 abreast down the backstretch. No, he stays up behind Jarrett. pushes him on out there. Here comes Urban back again.
Coming about to complete 69 laps, Darrell Waltrip may have lost a cylinder, and he has gone into the pit area. Waltrip back. Take a look again at what happened just moments ago here. Bring out the first caution of the day to Robbie Gordon as he came through the tri-oval.
And he was down on the inside attempting to pass some lap cars, got his left wheels down on the flat part of the racetrack. That and the combination of the air just took the air off the back end, spun him around out of the race, and he is with David Hobbs in the garage area.
Well, Robbie Gordon, they've just seen it all again. Maybe you could just talk us through your point of view.
Well, what I felt from inside the car, I felt I got out of the pits, I was running fourth, Jeff got by me, I lost the lead draft. Finally, I got hooked up with Mark, and I think we were catching Sterling. I don't know if he was on the lead lap or not, or a blue car, all I can say. And we had a good run coming out of 4 down into the tri-oval, and there was another car up high, so I figured we're better off going down low. And as soon as I started going down low, it felt like that car was, was running me down into the apron a little bit. And I think maybe I touched the apron or lost the air, one of the two. But hopefully it didn't wear out our welcome here, because we were having a great time in the Texaco car.
Hey, I've got to go, Robbie. There's been another accident on the track. Thank you.
All right.
Racing back to the line. Sterling Marlin trying to make up a lap. There's Stan Smith's car, demolished, and there's some flame coming out of the Alabama driver's car. Take a look at what happened here that's brought out the second caution of the day.
There's Stanley Smith in the middle in the black car. They were running 3 abreast going into that turn, Ken. There's the car number 1 of Rick Mast.
There is one car that has gone over the wall, as you see in that. And we'll get that for you in a moment. Stan Smith's car was destroyed. There is another car that went off the top of the... Here you see Smith being administered to. It was a 5-car wreck. It happened in lap 69 in turn 1. Smith's car has been brought to a halt along with 3 others, and we'll take a look again, and we'll look at it in slow motion now.
Okay, they're entering turn number 1, Ken. And it looks like somebody got into the wall and then came back down into the other cars. And then there is a car going over the wall. It's a red car. It could be the car number 32 of Jimmy Horton. We think that's who it is, but we're not absolutely sure. And there's Rick Mast coming in there. The car number 37 of Loy Allen was involved in it.
Richie Petty's car was collected as well.
We're still not totally sure which car that was that went over the wall. It was a red car, and we're speculating only that it could have been the car number 32 of Jimmy Horton, but we'll get the official word and pass it along to you just as quickly as we can.
Loy Allen's car was involved. The Richie Petty car was involved. And there are the remains of the car that went over the wall.
And it looks like someone standing there with a helmet, Ken.
And got out of that.
Let's hope that is the case. The helmet goes off. And boy, if that's the case, that is very, very good news.
I believe that is Horton for sure. See, there's the bank that it came down. Jimmy Horton, the Active Trucking Chevrolet, who had started 24th today, taking this nasty ride out of the track. I can't remember the last time we saw a car out of a speedway, Ned.
No, I can't either. It's been a long, long time. It dates back to the day. Yeah, you can see the number 32 on the side of that car now. And it did land on its wheels. At first, it looked like it was upside down, but the top and the deck lid, just in the hood and all of that, has just simply been ripped away from the car.
So I believe it's the first time a car has ever gone over the wall at Talladega.
And there you see what those cars getting together, and he was being pushed by another car right up into the wall, and it just tumbled right up. There's the Rick Mast car number 1. The car number 37 spinning, that's Loy Allen Jr. And the car number 53 of Richie Petty is involved. And of course, Stanley Smith, Kenny Wallace was involved in it. And of course, Jimmy Horton, whose car went over the wall.
Bridgewater, New Jersey native Jimmy Horton There's what's left of car number 32 after it rolled on the speedway, then got over the wall, and that wall is what, 4.5 or 5 feet. What a tribute to the roll cages in these cars. An unbelievable incident in turn number 1. This guy's had some super speedway experience too. He's won some ARCA races at Daytona, won the Poland 500 here at Talladega back in '91. But he sure ran out of luck here today. The good news is he seems to be okay. We'll update you with more on this story in a moment.
When life in your car gets a little too bumpy, there's only one place to go: Sears. Sears technicians install more shocks on more kinds of cars than anyone else. That's because we have America's largest selection, installation, and lifetime warranties. We're open before work, late at night, Saturdays, even Sunday. For shocks, for struts, there's no reason to go anywhere but Sears Tire and Auto Center. We're driven to satisfy.
With its cool new look and refreshing new lines, the new Ford Ranger Splash is the first and only compact flare side, the 1993 Ford Ranger Splash. Start making some waves.
Ford trucks, the best, never best.
Why use Valvoline motor oil? It's the #1 choice of Indy 500 chief mechanics, Daytona 500 chief mechanics, NHRA mechanics, and Baja 1000 mechanics. For use in their race cars and in their own cars. Any more questions? People who know use Valvoline.
This is hydroplaning in less than an inch of water, and they're not being pulled by a boat, but by Goodyear AquaTread radials. AquaTread's deep groove design channels water away to keep more tire in contact with the road for outstanding wet traction. This is hydroplaning. This is AquaTreading, the all-season AquaTread only from Goodyear. It comes with a 60,000-mile tread life warranty. Goodyear AquaTread. Try a set. We like to say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
This Die Hard 500 race summary is sponsored by Goodyear, #1 in tires.
After 197 miles have been completed in this 500-mile event, 7 lead changes, or rather 10 lead changes among 7 drivers, and the average speed down to 169 miles per hour. 2 caution periods. We're still under the second. Just knocked off the 7th lap under this caution period. They continue to work on Stan Smith. He is out of the car. He is on the ground. And Stan Smith, Alabama driver, has been injured. Car number 49, you see the rescue squad there working with Stan Smith. Very likable driver who came out of that racing series down here in the South. Won a championship. I believe they call it the American Racing Series, something like that. And he
used to be the Grand American
Series.
NASCAR and the Winston All-Pro Series.
Here's Mike Joy.
I'm in Jimmy Horton's pit. Steve Lesnowski. It's Steve Doozy. I know that from a long time. His dad used to own modifieds. You guys were as stunned as everybody else when that car went over the wall. Did Jimmy say anything on the radio or give you any indication what happened before he got out?
Now, we couldn't get hold of Jimmy on the radio. Either he's out of range out there in the parking lot or something. Too bad, because running good, biding his time. And, you know, these guys get to running 2-3 wide for no reason. They come down off the wall, took them out. So, tough day for the active Chevy.
Okay, Jimmy Horton, though, we saw walk out of the car, and well, they just moved the monitor. They saw it the same way we did on the TV monitor here with that view from above. But Jimmy, the report is he is okay.
All right, we're waiting for a further update on Stan Smith, who making his first start in 1993. Only other race was at Daytona, as they get the ambulance out here now. Was in a 125-mile qualifier at Daytona, and his car was hit by Steve Kinser's car down there, and he did not qualify. Looked serious. It looked far more serious for Horton, but it looks like Stan Smith has received some injuries in this crash. Remember that, you know, whenever you think about an over-the-wall crash, you think back to that incident at the Daytona Speedway in '61 when Lee Petty and Johnny Beauchamp got
Exactly. Okay, we'll take a look at it again. As the cars got in trouble, got together going into turn one. There's Stan Smith in that black car and the yellow car, and the car 32 of Jimmy Horton, the red car, getting caught up in that, pushed up into the wall and over the wall. There's the car number 37 of Loy Allen spinning down on the inside. He has made several pit stops. He's still in the race.
But it's the Smith car that stayed up on the wall. It took all that impact head on into the wall and then stayed up there for so long. And of course, he had no control at that time. Everything was gone in the front end. Under caution at lap 74, the Die Hard 500 from Talladega Superspeedway continues after this message and a word from your local station.
Being on a professional race crew is one of the world's most exciting jobs. The action, the drama, the glory. But best of all, you get to play with all the craftsman tools you've ever dreamed of. Oh, yeah! 1,600 craftsman hand tools, the official tools of NASCAR, NHRA, and IndyCar racing. Only at Sears.
What exactly is it that makes a Ford Escort GT so much fun? Well, let's start with its powerful 16-valve dual overhead cam engine. It's a blast. A scream! It really cuts. Then there's Escort GT's great looks. You know, the kind that'll turn more heads than a screwdriver. Speaking of turns, that's where Escort GT's nimble sport suspension comes in. We're talking road hugging. So ask yourself, isn't it time for a little fun? Yes! And have you driven a Ford lately?
When you absolutely, positively have to see great golf on television, the Federal Express St. Jude Classic next weekend on CBS.
This is CBS.
You alone may be able to identify one of Hampton Road's most wanted.
He's an expert armed robber and a master of disguises. I'm Channel 3's Stephanie Taylor. Hampton police need your help tracking down one of Hampton Road's most wanted fugitives.
Your positive identification could lead to the arrest of a local fugitive. Watch for Hampton Road's Most Wanted, Monday night at 6 on Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Dear Midas customers, some car repair shops advertise low prices, then hit you with hidden costs.
But at Midas, we won't quote you a price until we diagnose the problem and explain our estimate.
I'm Bruce Barry in Red Square, Moscow. Operation Smile has just completed its first medical mission to this capital and to St. Petersburg, the city of the Tsars.
To Russia with Love, beginning Monday on Channel 3's Live at 5. 11 minutes of uninterrupted news, weather, and sports. Tonight at 11.
We're back with you live at Talladega Superspeedway in Alabama. A major incident in turn number 1 of this racetrack, back about lap number 69. Stan Smith has been injured. A total of 5 cars were involved in the incident. Stan Smith, Alabama racer, being taken to the infield care center here at the track. The car of Richie Petty, the nephew of Richard Petty, was involved in the incident. Loy Allen's car, Rick Mast, and the Horton car left the track. It went out of the facility down onto a auxiliary road just off the first turn area. Let's go to Mike Joy.
Well, they're packing up Stanley Smith's pit here. They tried to reach him by radio after that incident down in turn 1 and were unable to. They did get a report that the rescue crews had to remove the right side window that's flushed down the right side of the car and go in from the right side to help Stanley out of the race car. They put him on a backboard into an ambulance and have taken him to the infield care center, but they were not able to talk to him by radio to find out what happened in the crash.
The caution car is in front of the field, bringing him through the tri-oval at this time.
And Ken, the last time we saw the cars following the caution car, Kyle Petty was in the lead, but he has made a pit stop. Now they've run 47 more laps. Here we go again with this replay of the incident down in turn.
Now watch the black car getting hit there.
And Horton's car immediately turns over and rolls right on up over the wall.
And then the Smith car is that black car with a yellow number that went in underneath the Horton car, drove it into the wall. Then it stays up in the wall as you see the Rick Mass car, the #1 car in trouble, Richie Petty's car in trouble.
That's Richie Petty, the white car with the red numerals. And you see the Stanley Smith car, the black number 49, staying up against the wall, then comes down to the inside of the racetrack. It almost looks as if he's steering that car down through there, Ken, but you know, it was out of control.
While we're waiting for more information, David Hobbs is on his way to the infield care center here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Smith began his Winston Cup career right here on this track. We saw him 3 years ago out here. Qualified 12th for his first race. A lot of people thought that he could be another upset winner, as we had in so many of those first events in this 500. We'll be back with more from Talladega in a moment.
When you need brakes, when you need shocks, when you need front-end work, it's not always 9 to 5. That's why Sears skilled service specialists are here before you go to work in the morning until late at night. We're ready Saturdays and Sundays too. Quality service priced right, ready when it's promised. Your life revolves around your car. We make sure our hours revolve around you. Sears Tire and Auto Center. We're driven to satisfy.
In IndyCar racing, when it rains, we don't race on super speedways. But we're running this IndyCar on Goodyear Eagles to prove a point about wet traction, cornering, and stopping. What's the point? These are not Goodyear Racing Eagles. They're Eagle GSC street radials with dual tread design for outstanding traction in the dry and in the wet. Eagle GSC street radials only from Goodyear. We like to say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
You can always spot a neighborhood with pride. Maybe it's a little cleaner, a little nicer place to be. All because somebody cared enough to make it that way. Like your neighborhood 76 station. Here, every gasoline is specially formulated to keep your engine clean and running smooth. We're rather proud of that. 76. Go with the spirit.
The secret to a strong finish is endurance. Introducing High Endurance, new from Old Spice. A breakthrough deodorant that doesn't wear out like the other guys. Here's proof. This is a day's worth of our deodorant. See how it outlasts the leading stick even after 24 hours? Now that's endurance. For the longest lasting, hardest working, the best deodorant stick, demand proof. Get new High Endurance from Old Spice. You won't go far without it.
We're getting ready to resume here. Let's take a look at the standings. Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon, Bill Elliott, Shepard, Jarrett, the front five. We understand they are going to move Stan Smith to the Caraway Medical Center by helicopter at this time, and there are the medical people. Rescue team taking him to the chopper after this incident at the Talladega Superspeedway today, a 5-car crash. And this Alabama racing veteran of a lot of dirt tracks in this part of the country, making his first race of 1993, injured. We have no further note at the present time as to how serious the injuries, but apparently they have to be quite serious to be taken into Caraway in this manner. Horton went out of the track, rolled over several times, appears to be okay. We're going to update you on that story just as soon as we have more. 77 laps are complete. We're going back to green. As we do, Martin leads, Gordon second, Elliott third, Shepard fourth, Jarrett fifth, Terry Labonte sixth, Sack seventh, Wallace, Rudd, Brett Bodine, the top 10. Schrader is back in 11th. Earnhardt is in 16th. Neil Bonnet in 18th as they turn him loose.
29 cars still being shown in the lead lap.
Bernie Urban has led 32 laps to date. Earnhardt has led 30 thus far on the afternoon. Back under green, lap 78.
This is the first time that Mark Martin has led. So he has the 5 bonus points leading a lap. That is the case in NASCAR Winston Cup racing. Anytime you lead a lap, whether it's under green or caution, you get 5 bonus points. driver who leads the most laps gets 5 points.
Mark Martin, who we saw at Michigan almost win it. For another gallon or two of fuel, he would have been home. And Ricky Rudd came home victorious that day.
There's Bill Elliott. Haven't seen him in a while up towards the front. He's sitting there in 3rd position.
And Jeff Gordon leans right on that outside retainer. Into the back straightaway. Here you have Mark Martin in 1st, Jeff Gordon in 2nd, Elliott lies 3rd.
Here comes Morgan Shepherd in 4th. Dale Jarrett, Terry Labonte, Greg Sachs, Rusty Wallace, Ricky Rudd, and Brett Bodine.
Just behind them comes Schrader, Wilson, Hut Strickland, Hillen in that group. Leaders coming back. It's Ford, Chevy, and a couple of Fords in the front 4. Greg Sachs is having an excellent day. Stan Smith being airlifted to the Caraway Medical Center here. Mark Martin's car stays in front as we watch the ambulance, medical ambulance, the air vac leaving here. Back straightaway, we're watching Horton's car, number 32, being brought in, and there is nothing left of that car that went over the wall. It's gone. Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon, Elliott stay up in front. Here's the draft for the lead, and there are 16 cars up in that lead draft as they come by.
Morgan Shepherd had pulled out trying to pass Bill Elliott the last lap, and it cost him several positions. He was in 4th. He now finds himself back in 6th position. There you see him right on the back bumper of Terry Labonte. Labonte running in the 5th position. So you got a Ford out front, a Chevrolet, then another Ford, then another Chevrolet, then another Chevrolet, then another Ford. There's the clear 2 car of Jimmy Horton. Boy, there.
And that's the good side.
Yeah, that is the good side of the car. Wow.
That reminds you so much of that awful incident that Phil Parsons had in the same first turn. But he didn't go out of the park. He rolled all the way to the top, then rolled all the way back to the bottom of that 33-degree banking back in '83. Here's Mike Joy.
Ken, you mentioned Kyle Petty was leading under caution, then made a pit stop. He thought he might have run over some debris down at turn number 1 from that accident, so got fresh tires before the restart. Joe Nemechek's the defending NASCAR Grand National champ. He, Steve Grissom, and Randy LaJoy were asked to stay over to today in case anybody needed relief from the heat. With what you've seen, you sure you want to get out there in the middle of that?
It looks like fun. You know, we had a great race yesterday, and they're doing it again today.
Pack racing like this, it's a lot of fun, but it can be a little dangerous.
Yes, it can. You know, there's been some accidents today, but everything is so close. The racing is so tight, and you got to have it, and you got to really use your head. It's like a chess game. You just got to play it, and if it comes to you, it comes to you.
He started one Winston Cup race up in New Hampshire. He wants to do some more.
Well, Mike, right now, the leader of the pack is Mark Martin. But there's some real shuffling going on out there. Rusty Wallace, who was down and out of it over the first 30 laps of this event, back in it, although for the moment he's down on the bottom of the racetrack in his own groove. Now he's fading back into a position and trying to hold on, but he'd run up there with the front. He just faded back about 8 cars with Earnhardt.
Ricky Rudd and Earnhardt now move down to the inside. You see Earnhardt down there trying to pick up the draft of Ricky Rudd. Rudd on the inside of Morgan Shepherd as they go down the backstretch. Earnhart, which one's he going to follow? He'll probably follow Shepherd. We'll see. No, he can't. There are 8 cars up there in his way.
And remember that 8 car net is laps down. Although he's in the lead draft, Sterling Marlin is laps down to those leaders.
Now look at Earnhardt. He found that hole. He just slid himself right up there and left Rudd down there by himself. Now here's a challenge for the lead as Gordon goes for it.
Could be 3 wide.
Here they come to the start-finish line. Jeff Gordon will lead that lap.
Jeff Gordon puts it out in front, and Dale Jarrett stays right with him on the bottom of the racetrack. Dale fades it up a couple of grooves.
Both of them slid up to that high groove. They knew that was the place they needed to be. Terry Labonte followed them through, but just couldn't quite make the pass on Mark Martin.
What a good run for Terry Labonte again today. Remember, he finished 3rd yesterday in the Grand National race. And the Corpus Christi veteran who will lead that Billy Hagan team at the end of this year, looking really stout as he goes up into 3rd. Look at the rest of this jam session. Boy, you talk about a pack.
And Ken, that was the 12th lead change in this this race one more, and there will have been 1,000 lead changes at the Talladega Superspeedway.
Just this race.
Just this race. Oh, just this race, not just in the Die Hard 500.
To the inside, Ricky Rudd going for 5th spot again. That is a struggle. Elliott right there.
Jarrett going for the lead, hoping Terry Labonte will come with him. He decides that's not the time to do it, so he jumps back in behind Jeff Gordon. Gordon has an off-the-fast race car. Here's Earnhardt coming down on the inside. He's got to run. And Jarrett going down. He saw Earnhardt go down, so he decided, well, let me try to go down, but Earnhardt's going to follow Jeff Gordon, leave Jarrett down on the inside. Here they come back to the line.
These pictures coming to you live from Talladega Superspeedway as Earnhardt fights his way back up through. Cuts and parries. Here he comes on the outside going to second. Jeff Gordon in front. The apprentice for the moment leads the master. Some apprentice. This kid is so good. Gordon in number 24 leading Earnhardt. We'll write a lot of stories about the two. Ham, what was that motion he just gave over the guy behind there that you saw Earnhardt make net?
Yeah, I think he was motioning to Morgan Shepherd to follow him. He's going to make a pass here. That's exactly what he's trying to do. And Shepherd obliges, comes right with him, and here he goes.
Earnhardt for the lead. Morgan Shepherd tucks in. It took just 8 laps for Earnhardt to come from 16th to 1st.
3 abreast as they go out and turn. Terry Labonte in the middle of that pack. He don't like that. He'll try to get out of there as quickly as he can.
Labonte back to 10th.
Ricky Rudd trying to move on the inside of Dale Jarrett.
Backside of the racetrack. Here comes Ricky Rudd on the bottom.
He has his teammate, another Hendrick Motorsports car, Ken Schrader, following him there on the inside, car number 25.
Earnhardt in front, now trying to repulse Jeff Gordon, who's right there trying to take that lead back. Dale Jarrett stays 3rd, Ricky Rudd 4th, Morgan Shepherd in 5th.
The exact position in the late stages of the Daytona 500. It was Earnhardt leading, Gordon in 2nd, and Jarrett in 3rd. Well, look how close Gordon pulls up on the back bumper of Earnhardt as they go into turn 1.
Look how those cars just bob and weave out there at 190 miles per hour. It looks so stable here. When you see those pictures from inside, you know they're riding a 200-mile-an-hour tightrope. Jarrett 3rd, Shepherd 4th.
Battle for 5th, side by side.
Rudd and Martin.
Ernie Irvan right behind Martin.
Hey, Ned.
Ken Schrader behind Ricky Rudd. Yes.
1st to 28th. 2 2/10 seconds.
Wow, that's close. Ooh, look how close those cars are, too, coming off the turn. Ricky Rudd side by side yet with Mark Martin.
Mike Joy.
Ray Evernham is Jeff Gordon's crew chief, a former modified racer. He coaches Gordon through each race. We know Jeff likes to run up front. When Earnhardt went by him, what advice did you give him?
Well, actually, he gave me some advice. He said, look, we led a lap and got some points, and we're just going to ride and save this thing for the end. We got a strong car. There's a couple stronger ones. We're just going to have to keep working on it.
28 cars in the lead draft.
Remember, Kyle Petty had made a late pit stop, and he is already back up running among the front group. We saw him down on the inside as we see these 6 cars trying to pull away, but they're only about the last of those 6 cars. There's Petty again down on the inside. The last of those 6 cars was Ernie Irvan, and he's not far in front of that 7th place car. In fact, it's catching up to him right now as we speak. Now Kyle's sort of run out of running room down there.
Sterling Marlin continues to stay up with these leaders. He's had so many good runs here, but has never won a race. 2nd again last year. And he lost a lap early today under green flag conditions. Then he had an extended stay on pit road. And the crew had to go under the hood, so he's at least 3, maybe 4 laps down. Sterling Marlin at the present time. Not much good luck for him at all this afternoon here at Talladega on the Superspeedway.
Here's Ernie Irvan down on the inside of Morgan Shepherd. They're running side by side. You can see it opened up a little bit of distance with those 3 cars out in front there. And here's a car slowing down. Looks like it might be Derek Cope. I couldn't see the car slowing down as they came.
Say the rear end.
Okay, it could be the car number 27.
Oh, that's 98. That is. You're absolutely right. Cale Yarborough's car. Bob Johnson, the crew chief for Derek Cope. They had a good weekend going, but things have gone awry for them.
Yep, you can see some smoke from underneath that car, Ken, so that doesn't look good for him. His head's into the garage area.
Another retiree from the event. That will mark the 7th car out of the race.
He was running 14th.
Here's a report from David Hobbs.
Well, unconfirmed reports from the medical center here say that Stanley Smith is critical, and he's got some head injuries, but they can't determine them here at the Speedway. So they've taken him away in the helicopter to the Caraway Medical Center, where they'll do further tests. So unconfirmed that Stan Smith is in critical condition, but we just don't know how critical.
92 laps are complete here today. Stan Smith, not the car that went over the wall. His car head on into it and then slid along for several hundred feet before it came to rest on the bottom of the track. Stan Smith making his first Winston Cup ride here at Talladega today. Coming around to complete 93 laps. Earnhardt and Gordon still up first and second. And here you see that battle for third. Morgan Shepherd there with Dale Jarrett coming right along.
He just went around Dale Jarrett on the high side coming off of turn 2. Made a good pass, Morgan Shepherd did. And here's Ernie Irvin down on the inside once again, trying to make some ground, but he couldn't do it. Now he tucks back up in line. Don't want to stay down there too long unless you get somebody to come with you to draft.
Irvin stays 7th. Right behind him in 8th is Ricky Rudd, and then Bobby Labonte. The 22 car stays 9th. The leader, Earnhardt. What a remarkable year he's having as he goes up for that 6th championship.
Look at Ernie Irvin coming once again. He just can't stand it. He's got to get down on that inside. He gets him a run, and he gets up beside some cars. It'll be the halfway mark when they come back.
From Earnhardt's view, what he would see in the rear view mirror. The assault continues. You see Dale Jarrett taking a shot to the inside. A lot of racing left. Stay with us here at Talladega Superspeedway.
The PGA Championship, coming soon on CBS.
Michael rowed the boat ashore. Hallelujah. Michael rowed the boat ashore. Hallelujah.
Michael should have had a diehard, America's most powerful line of deep cycling batteries.
Remember, never ever leave the dock without a diehard.
Because if you're stranded in the middle of a lake, you can't walk home.
Over the years, I've been pretty tough on cars, but hey, man, I wasn't paid to be gentle. Nowadays, I got a little bit different attitude. I own these babies.
You know, the better we take care of our equipment, the longer it lasts. And we always use STP products and have for the last 25 or 30 years. Maintenance, preventive maintenance is what it's all about. The problem is, some crazy kid always wants to drive them.
From the days when they ripped through the sands of Daytona to tracks like Talladega and Darlington, racing fans have had a love affair with the drivers. To commemorate these heroes, Country Time presents our new Collector Series, featuring Kowicki, Gant, Shepherd, Hamilton, Jarrett, and Darrell Waltrip. What better way to salute the men who risk it all on the Speedway and the fans who make it all worthwhile.
We just completed 96 laps. At 94, as caution is coming back on the Speedway, that would indicate that we have traveled half the distance. We have debris on the track, 250 miles down and 250 to go. Here's how the field was looking. Ernie Irvin was then in correction at that point. Earnhardt and Gordon up front, looking a little further back here. Through the field, Bill Elliott was just outside the top 10. Michael Waltrip, Brett Bodine, Terry Labonte, Hut Strickland back in 15th. And going further back in the field, Rick Wilson hanging on that 20th spot. Richard Petty car. And further back, Bobby Hillen. Lake Speed in there, Dick Trickle, Neil Bonnet in 24th. Let's go to David Hobbs right now. We have an update on that incident down in turn number 1.
Jimmy Horton, first of all, are you physically okay?
Yeah, we're okay. We just bruised up a little bit. I just want to say hi, Ryan and Jimmy. Daddy's okay.
Can you remember what happened on the wreck?
Well, we just remember going down in the corner, and I saw the 40 car going up against the wall, and called me from the quarter panel. And there for a while, we're asphalt racing, and all of a sudden, we're dirt racing.
Did you know you'd gone out the track?
Yeah, when the dirt's flying around, you're not supposed to be doing that. I knew we were in trouble.
Have you seen your car?
Yeah, we got out of it, and, you know, I kind of had a chance to look at it a little bit, and I guess it goes to the museum.
That must be one of the scariest incidents you've ever had, right?
Well, anytime you're upside down, whether it's a dirt car or anything, it's scary, but at this speed, it's real scary, but, you know, we walked away from it, and we'll be back next week, and hopefully racing again.
Okay, thank you.
Under caution for debris on the track. Horton is okay after that serious incident for him as he left the racetrack. The first car ever out of this Talladega Superspeedway, rolling over several times on the asphalt and several times down the embankment, landing on an auxiliary dirt road around the track. Nothing left of the car. He's okay. Stan Smith, the latest report is that he is in critical condition with head injuries. He's been taken to Caraway Medical Center on an air ambulance, and as soon as we have any update at all, we'll pass it along to you. Under caution, field is now coming in. Earnhardt, Gordon, Shepard, Martin, you see them all in here, taking this opportunity at lap 97, just past halfway, to refuel and take on tires.
So they can make it on one more pit stop from here on, Ken. So they, yes, we'll take that opportunity now to make that pit stop in case it should go green the rest of the way. Here's several cars coming back out already. Earnhardt is apparently changing 2 tires, and he comes back out in front of Mark Martin there.
13 lead changes among 8 drivers really doesn't tell the story of this race at all. This has been very competitive all day, and it's been edge work from the moment it started. This incident down here in turn number 1, it was you saw what happened. You said, no, there's no possible way that a car could leave the race. It must be sheet metal. It must be the hood. It must be a piece of it. No, indeed. Entire race car, 3,700 pounds, leaping and lurching up over that concrete wall and bounding down that dirt embankment. And Horton is okay. That's the remarkable part. But the serious injury to Stan Smith reminds you a bit of remember when Larry Smith had his tragic crash here in this corner. Went right into that same wall in about the same manner. Let's hope that things are going to be well for Stan Smith, who is really a nice guy.
Certainly our prayers and best wishes will be with him, and as Ken said earlier, we'll pass along any information as soon as we get it.
Continuing a tradition that began in 1960 at the Orange Bowl, today's overhead shots are from the Goodyear blimp Stars and Stripes out at Pompano Beach, Florida. Sure gave good pictures there and good service to let us know what was going on with the Horton car.
I think if we had not had the blimp, I don't think we'd been able to get a picture of that, because it was totally out of, it was out of the range of our regular camera.
Young Tennessee driver, great dirt track star Jeff Purvis has just come back on the track. Let's see if we can find Neil Bonnet out here and see how he's doing. Neil, Ken Squire at CBS Control. Can you read us?
Yeah, Ken, I hear you really good.
How's it going?
Pretty hot out here, but I'm feeling pretty decent right now.
Well, you're running in 24th spot. How hot is it out there, fella?
I'll tell you what, it's cooking inside this thing.
How hot?
I've been using a cool suit about 5 minutes and turn it off and then turn it back on. Try not to get used to the thing, but feel a lot better than I thought it would. I thought I'd be wilted by now, but I feel pretty good.
I tell you, Neil, it's remarkable. You've been able to stay right up there in the lead draft the whole race, so you must feel pretty comfortable with the car.
The car just feels so good, and Richard Childers called me a while ago, and that's our game plan, just to stay in this lead lap. You know, I got into the wall early in the race there. The car moved over, didn't see me out there, and I got into the wall on the right side. I didn't know how much damage we had, but it looks like it's okay, and our thought right now is just to stay in this lead lap, and at the end we'll see what we can do. I'm just, like I say, I'm rusty. I'm not getting in the right places.
Now, Neil, is this sparking something? You said this was going to be a one-race deal. You had no thoughts of coming back and renewing your career totally. How do you feel about that right now?
Well, Ned, it's certainly a lot of fun right here. Let me grab another gear right here. I just feel like I've been doing this thing so long, and I had the doctors were the guys that told me I had to quit before. And I really honestly feel like after I run this race, I can step out of this car and say, hey, if I want to quit, I can quit on my own. So, I'm having a lot of fun out here right now, but I just got to sit down after this thing over and reevaluate what's going on. I don't think I'm a threat to hurt these guys anymore. I've been out for 3 years. I got a lot of race car under me right now. We haven't used it all yet. I'll just have to see how this thing plays out.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Neil, just don't start selling Jarrett on it. We need one of you up here.
Don't worry about that.
Number 31, Neil Bonnet, 1980 winner of this event. Never forget those pictures of him and his little girl, Kristen. She's a big girl now.
Oh, yes, she is.
Runs part of the business for Neil. That was a great moment in his career. All right, we're settling down. I think we're going to get one more lap, and they'll turn them loose. They're going to take the light off on the pace car, indicative of a start this time by, and we'll be ready to go racing with Shepard now leading. Jeff Gordon in second. Dale Earnhardt will be third, followed by Martin. Then Dale Jarrett. In sixth will be Brett Bodine. What a great run he had at Pocono a week ago, only to come up a little short at the end. Ken Schrader in seventh, Ernie Irvin in eighth, Ricky Rudd in ninth, Bobby Labonte in 10th, Jeff Bodine in 11th as we get set on this restart. Let's go to Mike Joy.
Well, Ken, it's no cooler. It's 100 in the shade here on pit road. They've allowed tent-type canopies for the first time here at Talladega. Most all the teams took on right side tires and a full tank of fuel. They can go the distance from now on one more pit stop. Bobby Labonte was one of the teams that gambled a bit. They came in for fuel only, hoping to improve their track position over the teams that came in and took on tires and fuel.
Mike, we continue to talk about this heat story here today, and always at Talladega. The cars just don't dissipate heat like they did in the old days, do they?
Well, no, they don't, Ken, but the drivers, as David pointed out at the top of the show, are better protected from the heat. In the winter, you're from Vermont, I'm from Connecticut. We wear hats in the winter because you lose so much heat that evaporates out, comes out through your skull. The same thing's true of cold. I'm so hot I can't even get this story out. They wear a cool hat under their helmet that circulates a fluid, and they have an air blowing cool air into them. So that's keeping them cool. If your head's cool, the rest of your body is cool as well. And so it's a far, far better deal out there now than it would have been 5 or even 3 years ago before they had such technology to keep the drivers cool. There's a lot of Gatorade, cold water, ice packs down here in the pits, and fortunately, shade.
More than we can say for a lot of these folks out here who have been here since 9 o'clock this morning. The most loyal fans in sport, and there they are, ready to cheer their favorites on at Talladega Superspeedway, coming down for another flag with Morgan Shepherd in first. He has 4 Winston Cup victories. He's never won here. Of course, his car owner, Bud Moore, did with a great run by Buddy Baker years ago. Jeff Gordon, that youngster who just gets seemingly better in every race, and you're going to hear so much about riding in second, and then the Masters. Earnhardt working on another victory today, 5 this season, lies third as they come to the stripe. You either love him or hate him, but you have to respect him.
No doubt
one
about
super racer.
He really is. Not many cars down on the inside again, because there are not many cars that are a lap down that are still in the race.
Dale Jarrett holds right on in the 4th spot, and the front 2 breakaway, and then we have a little pack of 4. That 4 will easily collect the top 2, and we'll have a half dozen, with then a possibility of a little more breakaways. They try to snap the whip. Later in this race, you'll see them use that backstretch, try to break off some of those cars. They don't want to decide it among several. They'd like to decide it just by their lonesome, but 2 is enough, thank you, across this finish line. Rusty Wallace can tell you about that from this past May.
Excuse me, Ken, that blue car right in front of Earnhardt is Sterling Marlin, who is at least a couple of laps down.
4 they're showing.
He has a fast car, but he lost some time earlier in the race. Of course, he's going to move down now out of the way. He might be moving down to pass Morgan Shepherd.
Yeah, he's going to lead
the race.
Take one of those laps back right now. Second a year ago. Second 9 times in his career, but he's never won. Look looking good for the moment. Now Morgan with that draft is right there. Jeff Gordon helping him in the back straightaway to put Sterling back down on it.
Yeah, he got down there by himself, made a good run off of turn 2 to pull up there beside of Shepard, but now the lead pack will go by in the high groove. He has no one to draft with down there.
Field coming back by.
Can't concentrate on eating. You got to concentrate on these cars. And here's Gordon going to the high side. That's an unusual pass coming out through there. Moves right around Morgan Shepard and going to leave Shepard down on the inside.
Riding with Earnhardt as he flies up through into second spot. All at over 190 miles per hour here on CBS today. Jeff Gordon looking for that first Winston Cup win in his rookie season. Earnhardt right there with him.
And look how far Shepard is going to go back as a result of having no one to draft with. Gordon just made that move up on the high side, moved right around him and left Shepard down in the bottom groove with nobody to draft with. We don't even see it. There he is. Finally comes into the picture. Back to that 10th or 12th position before he can finally get back in line.
Just about back in Birmingham. Take a look at the rookie standings here. Jeff Gordon, big advantage, but look how close between Kenny Wallace and Bobby Labonte. And for the moment, Bobby Labonte today is having a super day. P.J. Jones is going to get a little help from an old hand.
Yep.
Going to understand that Harry Hyde's going to be there.
He's taking over as the general manager of the Harry Melling race team, and I think that'll be a great asset.
69 years old,
yeah.
Harry.
Still has a lot of knowledge and a lot of spunk left in him. He wants to help build that back to the winning form it was when the Elliots were there. Here's Ricky Rudd trying to move around the rookie. Bobby Labonte. Rudd in the orange car, number 5.
And that blue car.
Blue car.
Bobby Labonte in the 22 Maxwell car to stay right there. A very good run, but the man leading is the rookie. What's he have? 500 wins. He's won on everything: dirt, go-karts, midgets, sprint cars, Silver Crown Series, and USAC. Here he is in stock cars. He seems to have really found a home. Robbie Gordon, I wonder, you know, he's doing so well in Indy cars, but he sort of has the look and the feel of a stock car driver, and he gets along with people.
Well, I think he's a versatile race driver, and I think he can adjust to just about any type of racing as Jeff has done. But here comes Earnhardt, the master, moving down on the inside, taking the lead.
Could have a couple of Gordons out here. We'll have to see. I don't think AJ wants to give up on Robbie Gordon in IndyCar racing. He could be a factor if they wanted to keep him in this series. Back they come to the stripe, and Earnhardt is there another time, looking out the back window. Jeff Gordon right there with him.
And Ernie Irvin has moved down on the inside and has Ricky Rudd right on his bumper. Look for Dale Jarrett to pull out and come down and help them again, as they were about to do before the caution came out the last time. Irvin do it going into this next turn. We'll see.
Irvin coming up for 5th. Now this is right where he got airborne yesterday. He got the back end of the car 8 feet in the air in that Grand National. That was just a remarkable picture, and somehow he had the right thing, because you never see a car get that high and not start doing those awful sidewinder rolls. It just came back down and continued on his way.
There's a way to keep cool. It's nice.
No 103-degree temperature is going to bother that soul.
Well, I was wrong. Jarrett didn't make that move down on the inside there.
Here's David Hobbs.
Well, I got one of the old-time greats to me, Darrell Waltrip. What happened? You were going so well.
Oh, that dead-gum thing burned a piston today. It was running just incredibly well. And I tell you, if I'd have ever got by that first car, that last, whoever it was, 4-3 or whoever it would have been, I'd have left them guys. My car was awesome today. We had her right on the edge, and she burned a piston. But the Western Auto Chevrolet was ready for them today, loaded for bear.
How was the heat?
Well, you know, if you got in front or got down there by yourself, it wasn't too bad. But where it was really intense is when you're behind somebody or in groups of cars all around you. And it was really a lot of intense heat coming back from the car in front of you. The hoses, you know, that we run in the side of the car to get air in there, you take 100-degree air and you speed it up through the side of the car at 200 miles an hour. What do you got? You got a blowtorch. And that's kind of what the air coming in the side of the car felt like, was a big blowtorch. But the guys did a fantastic job getting me ready for this weekend. And, you know, I hope people realize that I haven't run bad here because it was my fault. We just haven't had a good car today. We had an awesome car.
Well, there's life in the old dog yet, right?
I can whip most of these guys laying on the ropes.
But not today.
It's nice that he still has that sense of humor with the car sitting in the garage area, but he was strong, no doubt about it. He came right to the front.
Talk about strong. Take a look at Ernie Irvin from 4th to 3rd, now challenging for 2nd, Ned.
He has had the guts to move her down on the inside, whether anybody went with him or not, and by golly, he's got a car strong enough to make the move and to stay down there. Now Dale Jarrett looks like he's going to go with him. He likes what Ernie's doing down there, so he's going to try to help himself.
And Rudd's willing to give a little assistance here.
Yep, those 3 Chevrolets teaming up against those 2 Chevrolets up front, and Rudd is going to help push him right on up there. Ernie's right on the inside of Earnhardt now as they go into turn 3.
If 2 cars are good in a draft, 3 cars are better, and it's going to push Ernie Irvin right up to battle with Earnhardt. Well, we've seen this one.
Oh, here we go. 3 abreast coming off the turn. Jarrett decided he wanted to just go ahead and try to lead the race, and Rudd's going to go with him.
Here they come to the trial. Take a look at this. Mark it on your program as lap 110 to the line. 4-1.
Earnhardt.
Back to 3.
Bad move by Jarrett. That cost him. He and Irvin cost him both.
Well, now Rudd will settle down on the inside. He'll pick one of those guys up and be able to move them back up through Ned.
Well, he's trying to follow Jarrett through there, but now Jarrett slips up in front of Irvin.
And look at Kyle Petty coming. Here's Kyle diving down to the bottom, and he'll try to find a way to get
4 abreast. Ricky
just
Rudd back down. Here's Sterling Marlin slipping up in there in the car number 8. Even though he's laps down, he's still racing.
If you're just joining us, this is live. It's at Talladega, Alabama. It's at over 190 miles per hour. It's coming at the 111 mark as they come by this time of 188 to be run. For the moment, Earnhardt has the lead. Gordon 2nd, Martin 3rd. And the scrimmage continues up there in those front positions. Some 15, 16 cars. I'll take that back. They are showing right now. Is this correct? 27 cars for the lead lap.
And they're all in the lead draft.
And all in the lead draft.
And here's Irvin down on the inside once again. He made that move, went by himself down there looking for a partner. Nobody has pulled out with him yet. Running side by side with the car number 16 of Wally Dallenbach Jr. There's Morgan Shepherd. He's worked his way back up there. Remember, we saw him go to the back when he tried to move a little while back, but he's worked his way back up to 6th now, 7th.
Dallenbach at 12th, and that number 16 had a good day. And that whole field continues to run like a tied-up bundle of sticks back to the stripe.
Well, Irvin made that move and had to get back in line. He lost a couple more positions and said, well, I'll have to get me some momentum build up again, and he'll try it again. Rest assured. You'll see that yellow car dip out from that line as soon as he gets him some momentum build up.
300 miles complete. Next time by the 500 to be run in the Die Hard race today at Talladega. Going to be a dandy finish.
What does it take to be a mountain man? Do you need a big horse? Do you need a deep tan? Do you have to have a saddle? Do you have to have the gear? Well, the simple truth is you just gotta have the beer.
Bush beer, an easy drinking Bush Light. Have you got what it takes to be a mountain man?
What does it take to live a mountain man's life? Get smooth Bush beer, is a drinking Bush Light.
When your truck's as tough as a Ford F-Series, you can go just about anywhere. And now with F-Series Preferred Care, we're going with you. Because even if you run out of gas or get a flat in the middle of nowhere, you can call toll-free and get 24-hour roadside assistance, free. No other full-size pickup offers that. Plus, there's an overnight loaner if you need it. Because at Ford, when we say we'll go out of our way to keep you satisfied, we really mean it.
For those who like to spend lots of time and effort cleaning, shining, and protecting your tires, this is going to be difficult to watch. Because with no-touch tire care, you don't need to rub or wipe your tires to make them look great. It's true. You just spray it on and leave it alone. No touching. Now, we know it's hard, but you've got to fight it. Come on, you can do it. That's good. No-touch tire care. The best touch is no touch.
In America, your car doesn't just get you from here to there. It's a part of your life. To give your car complete protection, Texaco has developed Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. With not one, but 3 kinds of protection against heat stress, starting friction, and engine dirt. Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car.
Race Summary is sponsored by Texaco Haviland. Add more life to your car.
Taking a quick look at this race summary, we've got a car spinning at the same time, and it is Michael Waltrip who is in trouble. He's bashed in the fender on the left side. It happened again in turn number 1. We're getting a summary through those first 300 miles, 113 laps. We'll get back to that in a moment. The caution is out for the 4th time today here at Talladega. They're racing back to the stripe right now, and as they do, we'll have Earnhardt in front, Jeff Gordon in second, Mark Martin in third, and everybody is out of the throttle as they come to the stripe. With that many cars, 27 the lead lap, there's not much sense in trying to make up a lap. The only car that would be really a candidate to do that would be Sterling Marlin.
And he was too far back to do it.
Apparently on the radio they were saying it was in one where this incident took place and everybody was lifting. So, 4th caution, and there you see the flag out that the pit road is closed that time by. I think it'll be open next time.
Yes, I think it will be. Another car that was involved in that was Rick Wilson in Richard Petty's car number 44. He went on around, but he has some sheet metal dangling from his car.
So here is Michael Waltrip car coming in, the Pennzoil car. So it doesn't look too good on that side either, does it? It got crushed in there on that front. They're beginning to go under to see what they can do about it.
Yeah, it's not the way you want a car to run at 200 miles an hour. You need it very slick, the aerodynamics there, everything. Let's go to the pits of David Hobbs.
Well, I'm down in the Michael Waltrip pit, and his left front end is stoven in quite a bit, but it's not much below the wheel line. But as you say, aerodynamically, certainly not the best here at Talladega. They're having trouble with the right front wheel, trying to get it under the wheel arch. Maybe there's some damage sustained out there I can't see, but the whole front of the car is looking a bit suspect. Now they're going to try and get the jack under the right side of the car with the, they're all lifting like heck to try and get the jack under. Got that up. A new left front tire going on. The previous one looked very sad as it came off, and they're still trying to drag that bodywork off. They certainly don't want it dragging on the tire going around here. Michael goes off, and really, apart from that little bit of front end damage, the car doesn't look too bad at all.
Well, they rushed to try to keep him in the lead lap, and I think they did. He's going to get out and stay in the lead lap. Let's go back to the pits and Mike Joy.
Waiting for Dale Earnhardt to come in. He'll be toward the head of that parade. We're going to watch David Smith, the jack man on this car, as they go to the left side for tires. That jack that he has weighs only 35 pounds. Modified racer George Brunholzl builds it, and you see in just 3 pumps, it's up. The first pump gets it up high enough to get the wheel off. The next 2 get it up high enough to get those other wheels on. And Neil Bonnet was trying to get in as Earnhardt was trying to get out, and Neil will have to go around again. He cut to the right to give Earnhardt some running room. So Earnhardt will get track position, and Neil will be at the tail end of the line.
Morgan Shepherd beats everyone out once again in the Wood Brothers Ford. Mark Martin came out second, Dale Jarrett third, Jeff Gordon fourth, and Dale Earnhardt fifth. That's the way they came out of the pits.
Then let's take a look at that summary that we had to interrupt with that caution down in turn 1. Take a look at where we were as we completed 300 miles of the 500 to be run today. 314 officially completed the time, and it was 9 leaders, 16 lead changes, very slow speed, 152, and 4 caution periods. Total of 18 laps is really quoted a little here. Here's the attrition. Bobby Gordon out. Richie Petty's car is gone. Stan Smith, the Horton car, masked. Darrell Waltrip retired. Derek Coates' car is out of competition. That's through 300 miles of the race here today. We have a report that Stan Smith is now in the trauma unit at the Caraway Medical Center in Birmingham, Alabama.
Here's that 44 car we mentioned of Rick Wilson, who was involved with Michael Waltrip. You can see the right front fender is practically gone off of his Pontiac, but he's still, like Michael Waltrip, still able to go.
And the report is no more in detail than what we had for you earlier, that Stan Smith has sustained critical head injuries and he is in that trauma unit. If there's any update, we'll bring it to you immediately. Here's the pace car coming to the tri-oval. They'll complete 118 laps officially this time by, having 313 miles complete. Mike Joy has more for us.
Well, Ken, now the cars a lap down will come in and pit, and Neil Bonnet, who is on the lead lap, will get to come in.
I think Neil's fault. He set the back and beats the car back.
So here's Neil in. They're going to get 4 tires on Bonnet's car.